Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning. It's very good to be here this morning. To the distinguished guests, deans, faculty members, and alumni, and especially the members of the 2017 graduating class of the University of Maryland University College, it is truly an honor to be here today to celebrate your academic achievements. I want to begin by, again, applauding each of you on your hard work and dedication. That hard work and dedication has led to this very important moment in your lives. It is truly a tremendous honor for me to be here as the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Maryland. It's humbling to be elected by your peers to serve on their behalf. It is an honor to have the opportunity to speak with you today on this day that you worked so hard to reach, and you will remember for the rest of your lives, as will your families. Today, the graduates come from all backgrounds and all walks of life. The vast majority of you have shown tremendous dedication by continuing your work full-time while earning your degree. There are a number of men and women, as we already saw, who have balanced their studies with selfless service to our United States military, and we greatly appreciate that. No matter where you start or what you had to balance, from jobs to families, I want to congratulate every one of you for putting in the work, and no matter how late in life, understanding the value of a college degree. Like many of you, I went back to school after several years. I had a wife, a young son at the time, but with their support, I made it through. For 70 years now, UMUC has been a pioneer in higher education, and all of you have taken advantage of the many advantages offered by this accessible and affordable university. This morning, as you receive your degrees, I want to take this opportunity to share a few thoughts with you about what lies ahead. Whether you plan to continue your education with another degree or earn a certification or additional job training, or go for that career change or promotion you've been working toward, it's been a few years since when I graduated from school, but I think I can pass on a few messages and hopefully inspiration for all of you. I want to put it in perspective. When I came out of school, undergraduate the first time, there was no internet, no personal computers, no cell phones. My kids are shocked by the cell phone part. You know, that was the world I found myself in when I first was entering the full-time workforce. Society has changed a lot since then, but there's some things that never change. And that includes the decisions in terms of what's next, what direction to take. I know that most of you are in a little different position graduating this time. You have more life experience and often more professional experience. Still, you understood the importance of the degree that you're receiving today, and you made it a priority. And I believe it still will be much more or mean much more for each of you. This degree will help open doors for you that otherwise may not have been open. However, there is no longer one obvious and obligatory path forward. Instead, you have hundreds of different directions waiting for you. And maybe some of you have figured it all out, others are weighing options, but as you move forward past this graduation, don't be afraid of the future. And most of all, don't be afraid of failure. When I graduated from school, first time and the second time, I never considered being an elected official. Becoming lieutenant governor was not a thought then, let alone 4 years ago. After I left college, I started in business. I tried a career in banking. I didn't really like it. I found it boring. Sorry for any bankers out there. And frankly, I wasn't very good at it. So I failed at that. I moved to technology sales where I did well. But after a few years, several years of doing that, I decided to make a couple of big changes. I got married, and I decided to go to law school. In that order. Some of us enjoy stress. Although I will say marrying my wife of 30 years was the best decision I ever made. Too bad she's not here to hear that, but that's another story. Last month, we celebrated our 30th wedding anniversary, and I look at it as 30 wonderful years of marriage. Now, she will say it's more like 28 wonderful years for her because law school wasn't that much fun. But it wasn't until I was in my 30s that I started to get directly involved in politics, first at the local level, then later in the state and national. And then late in 2013, I received a phone call from a friend who said he wanted to have coffee with me the next day and had something that was politically important to talk to me about. Now, of course, I knew that Larry Hogan was going to run for governor, or at least was planning to. So when I got off the phone, I turned to my wife and I said, I hope he's not going to ask me to run for lieutenant governor with Larry Hogan. After some conversations and convincing, I came around to the idea, and I actually enjoyed being out on the campaign trail. And I know you're thinking, you must be kidding about that, particularly when you look at all the presidential stuff. But really, it was far different for us, and perhaps because no one thought we were going to win. The media and the political know-it-alls, even our friends didn't believe in the beginning. But we believed, and we weren't afraid to fail. And as they say, the rest is history. And I don't regret a moment of it. Working in Annapolis now every day, walking in that historic State House where so many prominent leaders have walked before me is very humbling. I'm incredibly proud to walk in that building. My office was actually used by Thomas Jefferson and James Madison during the time when the state capitol was the temporary home of the Continental Congress. So it goes to show that the future is uncertain. You never know what your future is going to be, and you don't know that when it's staring you right in the face. When I graduated from college and pursued a career in business and then in law, I didn't really see the big picture. And there were peaks and valleys, frustrations along the way, and it was easy to miss the pieces that were starting to come together. But when I look back now, with all the detours that I took, all the times that I was unsure of my future, unsure of what I wanted to do with my life, they all led me to this point where I am right now. I was preparing for opportunities that I could not have imagined when I was coming out of school. Just as you are putting yourself in a position to be prepared for opportunities that you may not be able to imagine right now. To every one of today's graduates, you are going to experience your share of doubts and disappointments. It's inevitable. But I can say today, with hindsight, that it is going to be wonderful. And I am incredibly thankful that in those times of uncertainty, I chose to follow my instincts. Instead of taking the easy path or the obvious path, I made my own. President John F. Kennedy once said, "Those who dare to fail miserably can achieve greatly." So don't be afraid of failure. I ask all of you this morning to remember that particular point. If you believe in something, if you work hard and stay disciplined, you will succeed. You are already a testament to that. But it will be the failures you endure that will strengthen you and prepare you for something bigger that could be waiting right down the road. If I can leave you with a couple of words of advice, it is this. Continue to prepare yourself. Never stop learning and developing those skills that will position you well for the opportunities that will come your way. Secondly, don't be afraid to fail. If you want it, go after it with all that you have. And lastly, cast aside labels. Don't let anyone tell you how to think or force labels on you. I've been doing that all my life. And Governor Hogan and I continue to do that in our administration, and it drives folks crazy. So, congratulations again on your achievement. You are proof that there is no singular path forward. If you take anything away from my story today, let it be that where you start doesn't necessarily mean where you're going to finish. You don't have to be right the first time. But in all the mistakes, all the failures, it could eventually add up to something greater than you could have imagined. Now, lastly, please thank your families, your friends, your loved ones who helped you through this part of your journey. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak to you this afternoon, and on behalf of a very proud state, congratulations on your accomplishments. Thank you.